You are listening to WHOA Podcast, coming to you from Gainesville, Florida. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the WHOA GNV Podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and individuals that make you go, whoa. Today on the show, we have the former safety of the national championship, University of Florida Gators, baby, and of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Gators, more importantly, I'm just saying. My man, Ahmad Black. Welcome, dude.
I think you made me sound a little bit too good right now. I'm going to have to take you around with me personally, all right? Introduce me to anyone.
Everywhere we go. Everybody stop. Look at who we have right here.
And I'm like, put my arms up like this.
What's up, man?
Man, not
Welcome
much,
to
man.
the show.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Dude, I'm excited that you're here, man. We're going to get into a whole bunch of good stuff. But before we do, I have got to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only. You guys, you have no idea how special this episode is today because we have the COE, the chief of everything of New Scooters for Less, sitting right here in the house. Michael D is one of my best friends ever.
How are you going to give me a better introduction than Ahmad Black?
I know. I'll take back.
Like, never mind,
I'll take that back.
I'm taking all that back. I'm sorry. No, but I mean, dude, it's my man. Like,
I understand.
You know?
I understand.
Boys for a while. Good morning, podcast.
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Happy to be here. This was a surprise.
This is a surprise for even him. I'm like, yo, Mike, you're on the podcast tomorrow morning. Can't wait to see you there.
It's like 10 a.m. He's like, how do you feel about this? Like, okay.
But
yeah.
at least he wasn't a week early. So.
That's true.
Yeah, Ahmad showed up last week.
I showed up last week, ready.
I got so nervous. Anytime that happens, somebody shows up, I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I mess up? I instantly go to me because I'm like the worst with like scheduling and everything. I'm like, oh man, did I mess this up?
I looked at my schedule and I'm like, I am a week early.
Yeah, you completely messed this up.
I screwed that one up big time. I woke up early and stuff, like, for no reason. Like, woke up, took a shower, got ready, got myself psyched up, and, like, came over, and I'm like...
Then I'm like, yo, dude, what are you doing?
I almost literally wanted to pull up a chair and, like, still get on last week.
I was about to, like, I was all nervous that I messed up. That was about to happen, So, dude, it's all good. Well, I'm super excited that you're here, man. This is going to be a lot of fun because I've been engaging with you on Instagram. That's what's so cool about Instagram these days is that you can virtually, like, DM anybody. I'm like, yo, man, you got to be on the show. Like, you got to come.
It's crazy, man, because I remember when Instagram started. It was around like my senior year. It's around like 2010 or something like that. Yeah. Like it wasn't as big, but like they only had like 2 filters on the picture. So like every once in a while you can go to someone's page and like scroll all the way down in their pictures and see like the original filters of Instagram. But
and it's cool because when like you had come by the dealership at one point.
Yeah, I wanted a scooter, man.
I got a bone. You never bought the scooter from me.
Well, hold on, let's talk about this for a second. Like, why didn't you you didn't have a scooter in college?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
You just didn't buy it from us?
No, I didn't.
Bought it used?
Actually.
What'd you do?
I can't remember. My parents, Pouncey's parents, I think Paul Wilson's parents that came up with us. I think all our parents got together and like got our scooters somewhere. I'm not
That's
sure.
it. The show's over. Thank you for coming.
But we got them before. We got them before we came up here, though.
I'm just kidding. April Fools.
So my next question is. I just need to use one, man. What I gotta pay?
See, I've already been through this with you before.
Hold on, let's talk.
I just want to use one.
You guys brought them to Gainesville with you, which is super rare.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, and what was even great is I remember seeing pictures of like the Pouncey twins on like on one scooter.
I remember servicing that scooter.
That poor scooter.
Bro, I had to replace the shocks on that scooter so many times because they used to double scoot on it together. Gosh.
I remember one time Mike Pouncey fell off his scooter.
Okay.
So we had a morning workout.
It's like our biggest fear as a dealership.
Like literally, I saw Cam Newton fall off. I saw like so many players fall off. But it was like one morning we worked out. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we got done. It's like a light rain outside, so the grounds are wet and stuff. So I didn't have a class immediately after workout. They did. So I went back to when we lived in Springs in the dorms. I went back to the room and I was playing the video game. And they had left and went to class. Like 10 minutes later, Mike Pouncey comes back with like Band-Aids on, like limping. I'm like, what the
nightmare?
I'm like, what happened, bro? He was so pissed. He was like, man, I fell off the scooter, man. And like, I guess someone like laughed at him. He was so pissed. Like, like, oh my God. Like, I never seen that many small bandages in my life. Like,
dude, you ever want to see Gator Nation get upset at a business so quickly? All you have to do is let a football player get injured on a scooter.
Oh, it's
dude,
awful.
we start hearing about it, and we're like, you guys realize that we're trying to be a solution to like the parking and transportation issues.
Right.
Trying to make sure they can get to practice on time.
We're trying to make sure that they can get to practice on time, but yet like somebody falls off or somebody gets injured, and then it's just UF, Collin, I cannot believe what you guys did.
Like UF they're big on building up buildings and no parking.
Right. Oh, we know.
We know. That's why.
I wonder why. So they give you tickets and you have to pay the school back again, right?
Right.
That's why we're in this, man.
All right. So I need you guys, all right?
But that was cool because that day you showed up, you were looking for a scooter. That was when Mike. Is that the first time you guys met?
Yeah, it was. It was
okay.
September 17. Actually, went through the Twitter yesterday trying to find the picture. So I got a picture of me and Ahmad hanging out there by the Gator.
Okay.
Yeah.
So September of 17. All right, that's cool, man.
And he still ain't bought a scooter from me, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what's up with that.
Yeah, bro. I need to get one, man.
He's looking for that deal, man.
I need one bad, man, right now. Because sometimes I like to just go to the grocery store, or like I live up the street from like the Kangaroo or the gas station. Like sometimes I just want to go up there, and it's like, all right, got to get in the car, got to crank it up, got to put on my seatbelt, got to drive all the way there.
It's a lot of steps.
Yeah. All right, and then on the way back out, it's the one off 34th. Mm-hmm. So like when you're leaving it, you literally have to go around the whole neighborhood, go by Peach Valley, come all the way back around, and it just sucks because they won't let you come out and turn left to go back to my house.
Yeah.
So Scooter.
Scooter's where it's at, man.
Yeah, Scooter having me right in the game.
Yeah. Hey, who's your favorite rapper?
I'm old school, man. I like Weezy F, man.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody will ever trump Wayne in my. He's like Jordan, like basketball.
You want to know who my favorite rapper is?
Who's that?
Vanilla Ice.
My favorite rapper is Rap Spot from right here in Gainesville, Florida. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Rap Spot. They will wrap your vehicle, and they do a fantastic job. And super grateful to them for being. So we got our first podcast sponsor, man. It's like it's epic. We're giving away a vehicle wrap. You could win the vehicle wrap. You could put your face on your own vehicle, man. Like just wrap your car, put your face there. Or if you get a scooter, we could wrap the scooter. We can even wrap the scooter.
Can you wrap it when put like 35 on it or something, or like a Gator F on it, like with the wrap?
Heck yeah, man. We can do whatever we want.
All right, that sounds awesome.
But Rap Spot will be happy to do it for you, and just want to give those guys some love. Thank you for being our sponsor and for your support. And just a reminder that we're giving away this wrap. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Go to WHOAGNV.com, click giveaway, fill out the form, get registered to win, and we're going to give this $2,500 vehicle wrap away, and it's going to be legit, dude.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about it, and it's the whole purpose that we're trying to build awareness about the podcast, so get signed up and share our podcast. Let everybody know what we're doing here in Gainesville to highlight talented, unique, fun, incredible, entrepreneurial, athletic,
who's
author.
that? Who's that?
Everybody that makes you go, whoa. We're like,
who's the athletic one?
I'll tell you who it's not.
Me.
Not this guy. I used to be super athletic as a kid.
Yeah,
now
you gave it all to your kids.
Old.
Yeah, I was athletic at one point too.
Dude,
but,
my 9-year-old runs a 5K in 20 minutes and 40 seconds. 9 years old.
All right, let me tell you about the 5K. The only 5K I'll ever see.
That's money.
That's it. I feel like running was like my punishment, so like I won't do it, and like I can't do it. So I can run. An average football play is 4 to 6 seconds.
Dang.
I'm spurting 4 to 6 seconds. After that, I'm like.
So all right, so let's get into it. Let's like really get into this now, right? So we always like to start with the origin stories, right? Like we like to take it back. Now you don't have to tell us about when you were 2 years old, running around with football in your hand, but maybe like high school or whatever. Like when you knew that you were gonna become a Gator, when that moment was, what got you here? Just give us a little bit of your origin story.
All right. Well, number one, I didn't know where I wanted to go to school at.
You didn't know where you wanted? Okay.
Florida didn't even offer me. Sorry. Florida didn't offer me until I came up here for a camp. And by then I had a few other offers. But
where'd you have offers from?
LSU, Alabama, Mississippi, Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Yeah, screw all them.
Tennessee. Yeah. So the big three schools here, Florida State, Miami, didn't offer me. Coming off of 2 state championships, and I'm trying to figure out what is it that I'm lacking, or maybe I have to go out of state. Ohio State was one of them. Ohio State was one of my big ones. So I came to a camp and they offered me. Well, before I can even just tell my parents or anything, I had Urban Meyer right here saying take it or leave it. So I'm like, I'm not sure. So Chris Rainey was right there. Chris Rainey had already committed. So Chris Rainey's in the back saying, commit. I'm like, all right, what the heck, By this time, the Pounceys were committed to Florida State, right? So I commit. Long story short, they decommit from Florida State, commit to Florida.
All because of you? You take full credit?
No, because Rainey was there as well. But we all talked about we wanted to stay together.
Yeah.
And that was big for us. We always wanted to go to college, and I know it's going to be a different experience for everybody. So we wanted to at least know someone there. Also have great competition at the same time. And we knew us on the same team, we can be a pretty good dynasty around here. I think with those guys, we actually won a state championship. My junior and senior, well, they won sophomore year. I wasn't there. I transferred in. They won sophomore, junior, senior year, right? Our freshman year here, we lost 4 games, and then won another national championship sophomore year.
It's wild.
Dang.
So that's crazy. Like in those few years, I actually committed. I committed to Florida before the 2006 season.
So you knew what you were getting into.
I knew something.
yeah, you knew something was right.
Yeah, I knew something. So it was kind of dope to actually, because I didn't know anything about how great the school was or any of that, And I God's plan was to get me here, and now in the top 10 public school.
But how did you not know that? Because you're like fairly close, like right, Lakeland's.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Actually, like another team growing up.
Oh, God.
You did.
You're not talking about that. Right?
Like, why don't you just tell us?
No.
This is what we do. We expose the truth on the podcast.
All right.
What was your team?
Let's just say they were out west a little bit. All right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's awful.
What are you doing, dude?
So you were hoping the County stayed committed.
No, actually,
it was awful.
Well, it was crazy because we go to Florida State game that year, 2006, over at Florida State, and they were like sending people up to try to like get Pouncey to like commit back to them, and they're like no, get out of here.
It's wild the way that all came together. I mean, you don't ever see like high school students stick together like that. The Lakeland 7, you even had a moniker there.
Yeah.
You don't really see that. So that's how it all came together. Was Chris Rainey the first one to commit to that group? Or?
Yeah, because Rainey really literally told all the teams, like, you might as well not offer me. As soon as Florida offered me, I'm going to Florida. Yeah, and he stuck to that. I mean, a couple of schools offered him here and there, but I think I had like a Louisville offer as well. I had like a few others.
How many colleges play this like take it or leave it game? I mean, the coaches.
I don't think too many. I think that's what made Urban.
Like, here it is, take it or leave it. I mean, it was very much.
I wonder how he would have reacted if I'd have been like, man, leave that shit.
Like, what would have happened? Dude?
I don't know. I'm curious to find out. But just this time being at Florida, man, it was so great because for one, I met people that I never like ever forget. We built relationships that we'll have lifelong relationships with guys and families that I will never forget or change. And I think that's what above all we won. But I think that's what trumps everything. Is that I got guys that for a lifetime that if something ever happened to me will help help my family make sure my family's okay, and that's what I'm big on.
Yeah, I mean you're building family.
Yeah, and if those guys God forbid anything happened to them, vice versa. So like we took that, and that's what we mean when we say the Gator standard.
Yeah,
like. It gets thrown around a little loosely sometimes, but ultimately that's what it is. It's taking care of one another, going out, having fun, and winning.
Yeah, and the leadership that you guys had, like during that time, I don't know. I just reflect that back to how cool everybody was, like just how nice, friendly everybody was during. I mean, I'm sure like it's like this still, like, but I mean, I don't know. I even remember when Tebow walked into the showroom. right? Like we had serviced the scooter, right? This is what happened. So one of his friends like brought his scooter by to get it serviced,
right.
And I'm like, okay, like cool. So this is your scooter? I'm like talking to the guy. I'm like, this is your scooter, and it was one of the other football players, and he's like, no, he's like, but I'll have the owner contact you, and I'm like, okay. Well, I kind of need to know who the scooter belongs to, because we can't just have like a random scooter dropped off and not have any contact information. Like I need to know. He's like, okay, well, I'll have the owner contact you. And I'm like, okay, well, again.
You got to know.
And then finally he goes, the scooter belongs to Tebow. He's at the ESPYs. And I'll have him give you a call on Monday. Or like whatever. It was like right after that. And I was like, really? I was like, okay, like no problem. And what I remember is like we fixed the scooter, we got it taken care of, and then like he came in, it was for like, right in the morning, like first thing in the morning, and it was just just super, super nice. Like, I mean, we had a showroom full of customers, and I see all you guys do that, like taking the time for the fans and like,
for sure.
and connecting and building those relationships, because I don't know, I feel like it's easy to, I mean, you guys are like celebrities in your own right especially within this community, you know what I mean? And like, and when you get that, like, when you don't feel like I'm too busy for you. Like I've never seen that in the Gator community. Everybody always takes the time to take a picture, sign an autograph. You know what I mean?
That's one of the things that our coaches like instilled in us, and that. Not even, that's the type of players that they recruited and brought in, were the guys who weren't buttholes in public, who knew how to conduct themselves, who took the time to thank the people who spent their money on us, who spent their time coming to our games to cheer us on, who spent their time coming to our hotels just to see us get off the bus and go inside the hotel. That deserves a thank you. And I mean, myself personally, I never thought I was bigger than the bigger picture.
Right.
I can walk outside right now and get in my car and get in a car accident. And then what? Always be appreciative. And also, that's part of the Gator standard, is guys being appreciative. And I think that Coach Mullen is bringing that type of Gator standard back to the University of Florida, with guys who really appreciate what they have and value what they have.
100%.
And it kind of weeds out the guys who aren't like that. Nothing against the last coaching staff, but then like look at the guys they recruited. They get out fast because either you get with the program, or if you're not, you got to go.
Dude, I mean, it's so funny because like I'm hearing you speak, right? And you're talking about football, you're talking about team, and a lot of people even ask like, hey, why do you even bring athletes on your podcast? Because it's very entrepreneurial. We've had a huge mix. We've had artists, we've had athletes, we've had authors, we've had just an incredible diverse group of people come on this podcast. And it's funny because I hear you talk about that, and I'm like, that's super relevant to business. Like that's culture.
Right.
Like you're being like, when you build a culture within an organization, what happens? You weed out the people who don't fit the culture,
right?
And like the people who aren't going to help you get to that mission or that vision of the organization, right? And it's the exact same thing.
That's how it has to be like that. And you can say what you want about what I just said. Also, we won championships.
Yeah.
You can be complete opposite of what I just said and not win championships. We used to always have a saying: some do, some don't.
Yeah, thanks for that pick in the national championship, by the way.
Oh yeah, you are.
I had to feel good.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So what does that feel like, man? Like national championship, all eyes are on you.
The only thing
that pass,
it happened so fast. Everything, boom. Like that whole night was just like up.
Can you remember any of it?
Yeah,
what was the score of the game?
Just a giant blur.
What was the score of the game?
Was it 24-14?
Yeah, that's right. He's right.
Do you remember that because it was in the newspaper the next day, or do you remember that because you were in the game?
I just remember we were up 3. I got an interception. We went and scored.
Yeah.
That's what happened? All right. So, I just remember just going to the game and like being on the bus and like usually like the officers get us through the traffic. We couldn't. Like there's so many people, and like I just remember sitting in the back of the bus with Brandon Spikes. Can't remember who else it was. We're sitting back there and we're just like soaking the moment because we were in the national championship.
Yeah.
like I know Brandon Spikes just played that, but he also wasn't the starter. Remember we had Siler. So like I'm a starter. My first year starting with the Gators, and we're in a national championship. That's awesome, you know. So we got there, and it was just like another day, you know, because of how you have.
Was it really business as usual?
Business as usual.
Is it though?
Highest scoring offense in football.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman Trophy. We held them to 14 points. Oh yeah, by the way, both times they scored, it was a mess up on our part. One of them on me. They weren't supposed to score on us. If they go in a huddle and not hurry up offense every single play, they don't score on us. They could not score. Could not move the ball for real. Take it how you want to take it. That's the only reason they were moving the ball, the little bit that they were, because they were hurrying up offense and catching us and stuff that we weren't ready for. When I got that interception, we called the wrong play.
That's so crazy.
It was.
I love the insight. You know?
I mean, it was a right play, but what happened was what they were doing was they would bring out Gresham, was their tight end, right? He was a hybrid, so they put him in place to block. Problem is, we need linebacker for that, right? We'll come out a nickel. They're like going complete opposite of what we're doing. All right, then they'll flex him out, right? Now we need like a corner for that, and we're being base. So like now we got to stretch a linebacker out to guard Gresham.
So this is like pre-snap read kind of thing?
Yeah. So we were in base and we were supposed to be a nickel, I think, or something like that. And so that's what got me matched up on their best receiver in the slot.
And that was the play you picked him on.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thanks for not screwing that up.
Yeah.
also took a pounding hit from Major Wright. So like,
you're not the only one.
Yeah. So I caught it and got hit by Major. So I don't know how I did that.
I think there's somebody else in that game that remembers a hit from Major Wright.
Yeah.
So let's go back into this game a little bit, right? For real, the mindset. Right, because I think in business, like we prepare for big time circumstances, situations. Like your mindset has to change a little bit, right?
It don't change.
Okay,
because at the end of the day, we still have to get the same goals accomplished. We got to win the game, regardless of what we're winning for. We have to win the game.
Did the preparation change? Nothing change? It was the same.
The only preparation changed was because we had a whole month to get ready for it. Or whatever, a couple of weeks ago.
But okay, so that changes. Does that like psych you out at all?
Nah, because the way Urban does it is like a genius. Like Urban doesn't lose too many bowl games. Think about it. Don't. So the plan, he says it's infallible. If you go by phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, you're gonna win the game. Phase 1 is just nothing. We just conditioning, staying in shape after SEC championship. Phase 2, kind of getting it past a little bit, running our offense against our defense. Phase 3, now it's ball time, you know? And what we had to do, because they ran the ball they huddled up and ran hurry up offense so fast that what we would do was we would have an offense out there, run a play, and then have a whole new offense on the side with a play. So once that offense that run the play the first time, once that play's over, they run off and the other one run on. That's how fast that offense is in Oklahoma. They can either go that fast or they'll get to the huddle and just pause. You never know. You get what I'm saying? So what we were doing, we would let Sam Bradford call it. They'll look at what we're in, and then they'll check and call something, and then we'll check out of that. And that's how we have screwed up the whole night. It couldn't do anything with us.
Let's expose all of Urban Meyer's secrets right here on this podcast. Okay, so like what else? What else can you give us?
People always ask me what type of guy he is. He's a great guy, kind of.
He was great when he was at UF. Well, I mean, at least he won.
He's a great coach, man. It's just at the end of the day, though, we're not judged about how great we can coach. We're not, and that's why I think a lot of people still give praise and glorify the team that we had, because at the end of the day, we're great people.
Yeah. For sure.
You get what I'm saying? And LSU game this year, me and Major Wright were walking around doing like tailgates and stuff, and we just soaking the moment again. And I'm telling him, like, look how many lives we impacted in like 2 or 3 years, 4 years that we were here. These people are like forever thankful for us, bro. And like we literally changed lives in 3. We made some people have the best times of their lives playing a sport that we love to do, just running the ball and catching the ball, bro. Like, think about that.
Yeah,
so true.
You don't even realize the impact that something so simple, really.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's a game.
Right.
Like, you don't realize the impact something so simple can have on somebody's life.
Right. So, one of my coaches, my DB coach, Coach Heater.
Coach Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck Heater, man. We actually had lunch recently.
Where's he at these days?
He's here.
Oh, is he?
He's in Gainesville. So one day I'll never forget, and I told him the other day, one day he said, one day they'll stop asking you for your autograph. So always sign it while you can. Every time someone asks me for my autograph, I'm going to sign it.
And unless it's on their arm.
Unless it's on their arm.
We talked about that before. Yeah. You're like, that's just weird.
I'm not signing kids' arms, man, because I don't want anybody signing my daughter's arms or anything like that.
So unless it's an arm, sign it.
Yeah, no, I don't sign shoes either. I'm not, no, because I don't want any parents coming.
I mean, that's great advice. I mean, how do you keep it from getting to your head? Yeah, because I think it's common, right? Like, somebody experiences a little bit of success, you start like,
that's human element, man. It's just, that's what happened. But I think that what humbled us is the fact that we can be beat. Happen. Even though we got all this great talent and all these great players, we go out there and have one day that we're not prepared, we can lose, and it happened. There's no way Ole Miss was better than us. It's not even close. By the way, we just whooped that same Ole Miss team the year before that in Ole Miss. Right. Like, you see what I'm saying? But on that day, we weren't focused as we usually are. We weren't sharp as we usually were. So that's what kept us, down to earth and humble with what we had going on.
So, I mean, all right, so talk just because you brought it up, the loss to Ole Miss. I mean, hate bringing up the sorrow times, but I mean, Tebow's speech. Okay, like I mean, it's like famous now, right? Like, it's gone down in Gator history, college football history. Yeah, the promise. I mean, it's like stapled on the side of the building now. I mean, like, from that moment with him, I mean, even with you guys in the locker room, I mean, did he just have that presence? And like, I mean, was it like, what did that mean to you guys when somebody stands up there and they make a promise like that? I mean, what was the feeling? Yeah, like, what's the feeling? You're
that's
just
what the team asking. Are you crazy? Like, why would you do that? But at the same time, one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have is Tebow was like our leader, our stand alone.
Oh, you guys were filled with leaders.
No, like Tebow talked to our team maybe 3 times, and you saw it on camera. You saw it. He ran the offense. Brandon Spikes ran our defense. Mm-hmm. As a whole, as a team, we collectively had a lot of leaders on our team.
I can totally see that.
And that's what because if one leader goes down, we got another one. When that one goes down, we got another one. And we got this guy to pick you up and that guy to pick you up. And that's what made us unique, because we had a lot of those guys. Tebow, yes, brought a lot of people to our hotels. And when we got off the bus, we saw a lot of people out there cheering for us. But
well, and I think that's coming, kind of relating it back to business. Here I am as the leader of, have been the founder of New Scooters for Less. This company's 15 years old, very much the face of it, right? The forefront person, the person that is on camera a lot, the person that everybody knows is like the scooter guy. Like, so I think that we know that that's common, but within it, there's a team of individuals that are all leaders in their own right within their own departments and everything that they're doing. Like, and I think you're absolutely right. That's what builds that, going back to that culture.
Yeah,
right?
and you have to have a head guy, a spokesman, and I think Tebow was that guy, and I'm not taking anything from him.
No.
If I had to start a team right now with a quarterback, I'm getting Timmy Tebow. You can say what you want. Timmy was 5 years ahead of his time. Jameis Winston came out and ran the same offense Timmy did, but he was praised for it. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong? All right.
No.
Timmy came out, 2009? Winston came out 2013, 14? Ran the same offense. How come Winston can throw and Timmy can't? Winston throw 4 interceptions a game. When last time you seen Timmy do that? I'm waiting.
Yeah. His last start, Timmy's in the NFL, was that playoff winning versus the Steelers, I think.
So
all I did was win.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can say what you want. Like, I played against Peyton Manning. I should have intercepted Peyton Manning. You want to know why? He threw a duck. That's why. And quarterbacks can't. A lot of great quarterbacks, shitty arms. They get it there. That's what it's all about. You get it there. Can you throw this ball to your open receiver? Yes or no? I don't care how I get there. Can you motion your arm to get it there? That's what it should have been all about. Mm-hmm. See, but what happens is the NFL find every reason not to pay you. They try to find every reason not to pay you. Right?
This podcast is getting deep.
So when they find every reason not to pay you, that's why they have the combine and stuff.
I'm like censoring questions in my head. Is that appropriate? I got a ton.
Yeah, because I watching the combine, like they put so many. Can you play football or not? That's what we're talking about.
That's what it should come down to.
How many times have I run down a football field 40 yards straight? I can't even. Come on, really? You don't run down the field 40 yards straight. You don't even do that in baseball. Like, what are you talking about? Like, come on, stop. This is preposterous. Like, what are we talking about? You know, shuttle run, all right. 3-cone, all right. Vertical, all right. Like, that's what we should be talking about. 40?
You had a slow 40, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm not a track runner. Also, I have 2 80-yard returns in my career. How many times I ever got caught from behind? Remember what our coach used to say? If you run the 4.4, play 4.4. I know plenty of guys who run a 4.3 and don't play for like a 4.3.
Right.
Now you see, it's different. I know plenty of receivers that'll run by you and drop the ball. That's the ones that are gonna get paid. This is a business. At the end of the day, after college, it's not about football anymore, and that's what some of these guys have to realize. The goal should not be to go. I mean, yeah, the goal is to go to NFL. That's every NFL, MLB, NBA. That's all kids' dreams majority of the time.
Right.
But it's their dream because parents instill that. Because a kid will go score 4 touchdowns in the game or hit a home run in the game, and guess what? The first thing their parents say, not that we're going to get them to college. They don't say we're going to get them to college and have their college paid for. We don't say that. No, we don't say that. We say, oh, he's going to the pros. Why? Society has made it okay for us to say that. That's
super interesting.
That shouldn't be it. Go to college and get your college paid for. If you make a professional team, that's a blessing.
That was one of the things that you did. You came back, right? Yeah, and you finished.
I came back. I came back 2017.
And you finished.
I finished school.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, it was cool. So they you know still gave me my scholarship. They still honored that. When I came back.
So what was your motivation for coming back? Did that come from you, or is that like, you know, trying to make...
My biggest motivation to coming back is my dad.
So on one end, you have parents that are, you know, trying to drive their kids to go pro, and your dad was actually your influence in coming back.
My dad told me he was so proud of me for going pro. Like, I would never understand. But he told me what would make him more proud is if I got my college degree. My college degree is sitting in my parents' living room right now.
That's cool.
There you go. You know, so I always wanted to do that before my dad got out of here. And luckily, he's in good shape right now. Getting a little old. I hope I can make it to his age. But you know, I just honor my dad, man. And even my mom.
That's cool.
You know, and all the adults that kind of like taught me what I know. Because you got to think about it, we're all sponges. You should be, and that's what makes us all unique. Because your mom taught you something you probably want to never forget. An adult taught you something. Your first grade teacher, you know, your second grade teacher probably taught you something, and then we all put it together.
Yeah, very often.
Because my second grade teacher didn't tell you anything. You don't know her.
Right.
My mom didn't tell you anything because she don't know you. Mm. That's what makes us different.
It's funny hearing you say that. Like, I look back and I'm like, a lot of those people were coaches.
Right.
Well, you played for some of the best ones. I mean, Bill Castle of Lakeland is.
I also played for Shiano, so I don't.
Yeah, well, you did. You had Charlie Strong, Urban Meyer. I mean, different coaches lead different ways.
Right.
I know there's players, coaches. There's your tacticians. Greg Schiano, I believe, I didn't play for him obviously, but a disciplinarian. He kind of had that, like, at least in the media, he had that kind of.
He also never won a championship. But carry on, like. We could talk about that.
That's what's interesting. So, I mean, you played for a lot of different notable coaches.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to go through each one, but how did the leadership change? What did you take away from them that was different?
All right, so, you know, I learned from Castle. Coach Castle, that's one of my the people that I looked up to the most.
A very impressionable time being in high school.
Yeah. What a lot of people don't realize, this is what I used to do. Coach Castle taught me a lot of stuff. He always talks to the team afterwards. After practice, he always told us we were gonna get our butt kicked, which is crap because we beat everybody by 40 points. But the things that I would notice on Coach Castle, probably the things that no one would ever notice. I noticed he used to get chill bumps and goosebumps when he talked to our team on his legs and his arms. That's passion, man.
Yeah, it is.
If that's not passion for you, I don't know what. That's complete passion for the game that you're teaching. Been doing this for like 30 plus years. Like,
makes you feel like it's not lip service, right?
Yeah,
actually
so
touching them.
But like the only thing I hate about Coach Castle is like, that I kind of liked is like, he's telling us we're gonna lose. Like, Coach, we're not about to lose. Like, stop that shit. We get the ball rainy 5 times and 4 of them are gonna be touchdowns. Maybe 5 of them. All right, like stop. All right. Then we get into college here.
Was he trying to do that just to keep you guys humble?
I think so. That's why I say I like it a little bit.
mindset thing.
Yeah. Even though we didn't buy it worth of shit. Like, we went number 1 in the nation 2 years back to back, undefeated. 3 years actually. The first year they were like number 16 in the nation. So like they jumped us from 16 to 1 after winning the first one. So when I got there, we were number 1 in the nation that whole year, which is 2005 and 2006. We went out.
And he was trying to tell you guys you were losing games.
Bro, we went to Ohio to play St. Xavier. Like, we go out there and fly out there, beat up on them, come back home. Like, now you try, like, who? Then we play St. Thomas, the number 4 team in the country. Beat them. All right, it was almost to the point where it was like we couldn't be beat. Almost. It was like tough games in our senior year, but he just told us how to be humble. He just told us the necessary necessities that we needed at that time. How to kind of be a young man and how to conduct yourself. Then I moved here. I have Coach Meyer. Coach Meyer's a great guy, man. At the end of the day, he's a family guy. But he's so passionate about his. It's different. But the common theme is they're all passionate about their game.
Right.
Right? Everybody wants to win. And they'll go to the extreme to win. And with Coach Meyer, like, he does have his health issues. You could tell he's, when he deteriorating. Because I've been in the same room with this guy, and it's just me and him. And I've seen him jolly, and I've seen him walk past a hall and like shoulder shrug me and throw his arm into my ribs or something, man. It's just, on some playful stuff, man. And then I see him, after Alabama loss, like holding his head, and I see him on TV now, and it's, he doesn't look healthy right now. Mm-hmm. But from him, he literally touched everything. Like, you get a coach Coach Strong, he coaches defense. You're not telling me Coach Strong coach offense. Where? Urban coach offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, so do you think a lot of it is just stress? I mean, because I'm like looking at it from a leadership standpoint, right? Like, for me, I'm just, it's funny because even last night, like, I'm laying in bed just talking to my wife, and, we're talking about we have some personal friends with us, even in the community, and maybe in just people that we know that have recently passed away at like a super young age, like 40s, in the 50s. Like, it's just, I mean, and so we constantly have these questions about, like, I mean, even my health as a leader, mm-hmm. right? Because it's easy. One, like, I get super passionate about what I do. Like, I love it so much. Yeah. Like, being here at 5:30 this morning and having a meeting before we recorded this podcast at 7:30, like, that was no big deal for me because I love it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I can go till midnight tonight, and I love it. But like making sure that you take care of your health through that, and focus and be very intentional on it. Whether it's just me getting mm-hmm. exercise, eating right. I mean, it's. I would just say this is something that I hear is common in leadership, is that we often put our health second to the health of everybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? We want to ensure that our players, that our team members are taken care of, and we put a lot of that weight on our shoulders sometimes. Right. And I think that's very common in even college football. Like, I think it's the same thing.
I think it's a combination of like a leaders eat last mentality, but also like an obsession to be great from a lot of leaders. You know, they're just so driven, so passionate to be the best and to bring the best out of everybody that they're leading, that it becomes consuming.
Well, and you very often hear like there's a lot of discussion right now about like the hustle mentality,
right?
Because entrepreneurship in itself is very, very cool, and a lot of people are out there, the grind, like get the grind, the grit, the grind.
I don't sleep. Like, all right, well, guess what's gonna happen? Start hallucinating when you don't get a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta take a drug. That's a drug in itself. You don't get sleep. That's a drug, bro. And back in the day when I just wanted to stay up and party and do all that, and it's like now I look at that and I cringe, bro, because like who would want to stay up all night? I ask the kids at school, and it's just a trap question. I'm like, y'all stay up and play Fortnite late? I'm like, yeah, I bet y'all stay up later than you guys, and they're like, no, and like just to hear what they're gonna say, and this kid's staying up to like all hours of the night just playing a video game. Yeah. And I can't bash them or anything, because guess what? I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Sometimes you got to learn, right?
Yeah, so you got to learn the hard way. Right?
I always tell people, the waitress puts the hot plate in front of you, says, careful, don't touch it. And the first thing you do is grab the plate.
You're going to grab the plate because you want to eat. So, you got to get sleep. You got to, if something aching, we have like aspirin and stuff, but if it continues, man, you got to get it checked out. We go to work sometime and we get a lot of people get benefits and stuff, and you actually, it comes out of your check. Why not go to the doctor sometime? See what I'm saying? Like if you have health insurance and stuff, you actually pay for that. Go.
Yeah, depending on the organization and where you're at, right?
Right, but but I just looking at my dad, man, and just he was military 25 years.
What branch?
I swear, did 10 years in the Navy.
Yeah.
Then he did 10 years Army.
Dang.
And then did 5 years Army Reserve.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
It's awful, right?
I mean, I don't know about but it's just crazy. I don't think I've ever heard anybody switching branches.
Yeah,
like
so then that was pretty.
Well, thanks
dope.
to him for all of his service.
Yeah,
man.
I appreciate it. So I just watch him, man, and just now that I'm older now, like back in the day, he was like they didn't want me to go places and stuff, and like with my friends, and now I understand why. Because I have friends that were actually better than me in sports and stuff. Mm-hmm. But this goes back to what we talked about before. 9 out of 10,000 kids are going to get drafted. Not 90, not 900. 9 out of 10,000. So then you take that, and then you have these parents and these adults saying, "Oh, my kid's going to go pro." Okay, well, watch this. I had plenty that were better than me, right? This guy tore his knee. This guy did stuff he wasn't supposed to do in school. Didn't get his grades. This guy goes to jail. This guy doesn't go to a college like UF. This guy doesn't get the big break and go to a camp because his parents can't afford it. This guy can't get to the camps because his parents don't have a car. Now you see? So we take all of that. You have to. Oh yeah, by the way, you want your kid to go pro, you got to invest in him. My dad was at every game. My mom was at every game. Right? I'm not saying it's just to brag on my parents. I'm saying this because everybody wants their kid to go pro, and we don't invest in our kids.
So how do you change that expectation? Like, I mean, it sounds like right now you're being very much a voice for that.
What we have to do right now is to make sure that we don't put the wrong ideas and the wrong stuff. Like, that's like, I don't know the math on that.
I mean, is that our problem? Like, is it like parents telling their kids that they can? Oh, you can do whatever you want. Sure, you want to go.
You can do whatever you want. But sometimes, like a professional athlete, I told you that it's like a bonus. That's a bonus. A lot of these kids say they want to do it. Now watch this. Watch this. I had a kid sitting down in the weight room and asked me, "What does it take?" Well, I'm not sitting down. I can tell you that right now. Now you see, so that's what I tell people all the time. When I was in the league, I didn't do everything I was supposed to do to stay in the league. I got complacent. So that's what I'm telling you. Don't get complacent. You can't. There's no way you can get complacent.
But should parents be put? It sounds like there's a lot of parents. Their kid makes it onto the University of Florida football team, right?
Right.
Their kid's there. Are those parents putting a ton of pressure on their kids to get to the NFL?
I think that's what it is.
And you're saying
when instead, my dad didn't say nothing about going to the NFL. I don't, not to brag on my own self, I was supposed to be the all-time interception leader here. I was supposed to be the all-time interception for touchdown leader here. 2 of my interceptions got called back, all-time leader, and one of them was a pick six. I played 3 years in the league. I let it was like 5, 6, 7 years before somebody had 100 tackles after me, after I left here. Oh yeah, by the way, I played safety. I had 14 tackles for loss and led the team. Again, I played safety. Like, not bragging on my own self, but that's what we got to understand. That it's not too many people that's going to be better than that. And I played 3.5 years.
So what happened at the end of that? Like, I mean, is it just
was
it severe disappointment for you? Like
it wasn't a disappointment.
Like, how do you like?
I beat the odds because guess what? They told me I never played in high school for real. That's crazy. Urban Meyer, the great Urban Meyer, told the media I was a recruiting mistake, and I'll never play at Florida. First game playing at Florida, starting 2 picks, ran one back for 80 yards. Oh yeah, by the way, the last game playing at Florida, 2 picks, ran one back for 80 yards.
Do you just ride that? You just keep that chip on your shoulder and just ride it? Is that motivation for you?
My motivation is getting up and doing what I want to do. That's my motivation. And whatever I do it the best I possibly can. Because if anything else have to motivate me to do something, I shouldn't be doing it. If something else got to get you guys up to like, if it's a pep talk, sometimes you need that. But if that's what you have to, that's what it takes for you to get up and do what you love to do every day. You don't love that shit for real.
Right. You're doing the wrong thing.
You're doing the wrong thing.
Dude, you sound like me. I feel like we're best friends now, by the way.
Just the point of it.
Just letting you know. Just so you know. I mean, so now you have 3 daughters.
Yeah.
Right? What are their ages?
I got a 14, a 7, and 6.
Okay, so what things have you learned through this that you're now, I mean, because now you're raising them, right?
It's different because, like, I had my first kid at 15 years old. She's 14 now. So it's like I had to learn how to be a dad. I didn't know how to be a dad. I just turned 30. So like I just learned. I'm just starting to learn how to be a dad. Why? Because that's when you're supposed to be a dad. And what I tell my kids all the time is like, you're amazing. You can do whatever you want. Just got to slow down. That's what I say. I was like, you got to slow down because we move so fast. And if sometimes we just sit down and focus and just think about what we got to do before we do it, we'll be way better off. I'm not saying this for me too. I move extremely fast. But if I just slow down, okay, sit back, all right, this is what I need to do, this is what needs to be handled, everything will go smoothly, right? That's my biggest thing. Is just slow down when you're doing stuff. I catch myself all the time telling my daughter stuff that my dad told me.
Yeah.
You know,
like what? Is there anything that off the top of your mind?
Oh man, like this morning, like I literally saw my fiance just go. All right, go. I saw her turn the TV off. All right, in my daughter's room. I saw her turn the light off in my daughter's room. Right. We don't sleep with the door closed in our room because it's a parent thing. Right. I wake up through the night and it's like the TV's coming from my daughter's room, shining, hitting the wall, hit this wall, and back in our room. I'm like, what is this? Like, that's like I know for a fact. Sometimes she'll wake up through the night and she'll turn on the TV or something, just to get her back to sleep. Problem is, turn the TV off when if you're about to go to sleep. Like, that's what my dad used to always say. Like, if you're not in the room, turn the light off. If you're not in there, turn the TV off. Like, don't leave the house with the TV on. Like, I still catch myself telling her that, and it's just the small things, man. It's just I know some of the stuff. I was
expecting a much bigger life lesson.
That was just one. This one from today. A bigger one is just my dad always, just even with adults, man, and I say it all the time. Just we take for granted using manners, man, and just small things. Even at schools, a kid asks me to do something, I'll do it for him. I don't expect anything of it. But if you get anything out of it, it's a bonus. You get a thank you out of it, it's a bonus. It's how you teach them. You gotta teach my kid that. You do something for us, you're gonna say thank you.
Yeah.
Be appreciative. That's what my dad always told me. My mom always told me.
Interestingly, I think that's becoming even more difficult in 2019. And here's my theory. I think it's gonna become even more difficult as we head into 2020, 2021. Voice technology, I think, is starting to become this problem. I notice it with my kids. We have, I hope you might have to turn her down when I say it, but Alexa devices inside of our house, right? Like, I'd be like,
Sorry,
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. But my kids are going around saying, "Hey Alexa, blah 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 blah," and then I see like, I'm like, well, you could Alexa off.
I think I need one.
But like I see them like speaking to these devices, not speaking, like demanding things of these devices, and I'm like, man, we gotta like just be, I think it's good because I'm aware of it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got to be aware of it. Like, how's this gonna play out? And I'm telling my kids, like, hey,
it's so funny because I'm so polite to my Alexa.
Are you? Like,
Alexa, will you please do this for me?
That's great.
My daughter is, we got her iPad, and she just, always, and like, what makes me, like, it's crazy how times have, I remember the press of C, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, bro, I remember text used to be 10 cents a text. Like, I just remember all of that. And
kids
like,
will have no idea how many times we have to press.
Yeah, bro, and it's like now, my daughter's like, she like texts on her iPad and like voice command it. And I'm like, no, like, you need to type it out because I want you to learn how to, she know how to spell and stuff, but I just want you to, that's how you stay sharp. You practice.
Right.
That is your practice. You could talk to a million people if you want. I want you to type in what you want to say. Like, don't voice command it. Like, that's cheating, I feel like. It's like, it'll spell everything right for you anyway, So.
And so now, like, you're doing some substitute teaching, you told me, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be kind of cool.
It's cool, man. It's just
because now you're like giving back and like,
and then like I
teaching a lot of these lessons to. So what grades primarily?
I'm K through 12.
Okay.
I've done them all literally. Last week I did second grade. I did fifth grade last week. I did fourth grade. I haven't done kindergarten. I've done high school. I've done middle school. But all of it is a different task in its own. Every grade level is different. You have, the younger kids, sometimes you have to actually teach them the lesson and, how to live, like, in life. Like, after the bathroom, go wash your hands. After, and it's crazy because some of them in kindergarten don't know how to wash their hands properly. And we take that for granted, like, literally. Like, they put too much soap, and it's like the whole sink is full of soap. Like, you're like, what is this? Like, what? Like, go sit down. Like, and you get up to like sixth grade, and it's like in sixth grade, like, you remember you're 11 years old, and like you think you know it all. Like, you don't really know anything. Like, go sit down somewhere. Like, and then you get to high school, it's like, I'm grown. Like, oh really? Do you pay a bill? Sit down. But I get it all the time. It's like, Mr. Black. By the way, in elementary school.
Yeah, you're Mr. Black.
No, I changed my name.
Oh, what is it?
By the way, I'm not telling you. Because I won't tell them. I won't tell them. I got to think of one. Because I'm not telling you my name is Mr. Black anymore. Because all day, Mr. Black, Mr. Black, Mr. Black. And I'm like, oh, like, I'm changing my name. Like, but they always want to, in high school, man, what position you played? Oh, you Mr. Black from the Gators? And like, that's so cool that people know that, but at the same time, I want you to know Mr. Black, the real Mr. Black.
Yeah.
Because there's more to Mr. Black than football. And that's one of the reasons why I stopped going after trying to play football. I got released, and I wasn't going to play in the other leagues. I wasn't going to play in this new AAF league or whatever the case may be, with nothing against it. But my legacy's already made. Like, when you think of Ahmad Black, I mean, you may think of pro, and Bucks fans know me.
Yeah.
I didn't do too much in the NFL. Just picked up a couple of number one overalls, but I want people to know more about me, about the real me, the inside me, because I'm a great guy. I
But
feel
do you
like.
miss it?
I don't miss football.
You don't?
I miss being part of a team.
Okay.
And I miss going to the locker room with my guys and hanging out before we had social media, before we had Snapchat and all that.
Yeah.
Like, we would get out of practice and sit in the locker room for hours, bro. Like, just with each other, just play fighting and wrestling and all kind of stuff. And that's what made us closer. Oh yeah, by the way, when we left there, we went to each other's houses for more hours. Man, I miss that. Nothing against my immediate family and my family, but I just miss when the guys come over and we just shoot the shit.
Yeah, brotherhood.
I can still do that.
Family.
Like we still do that, you know.
I mean, I hear you saying it. I'm like thinking about long term, like, you know, when I'm not in business anymore, like, am I gonna miss it? And I think it's gonna be a lot of things. Am I gonna miss the headaches with customers? No.
Yeah.
Right. But am I gonna miss the team coming together and like working hard to achieve something? You know,
you guys all got the same common goal.
You know, like am I gonna miss the camaraderie, that feeling that I get by? I can totally see it being the same thing.
I think you see that all the time. Like I remember working in restaurants back home, and everyone would always complain about working so much, and then they get a day off. Where are they out on their day off? They're back there at the restaurant, hanging out because they miss everybody, you know. And it's like that here sometimes, where it's just like you get caught up in the work, but you miss the people.
Right,
you know?
right, and the things that you did at that job. You know, it's nothing like Gator fans. I don't think people realize that. I was wanting to come to school here in 2005, 2006, and I know there were not this many people talking about their team's nation. Like, stop it. We started that shit. Like,
oh, right.
Like, get out of here. Like, and then I have people arguing with me about what DBU is. Like, what do you mean? We started it. Like, you come to Florida, you have a greater chance of having a chance to go in the NFL.
They also robbed Tiger Bait from us, too.
Like, what do you, like, we're not saying that you're going to go to the NFL and be the number one corner in the nation. Nothing like that. We're not saying that. What we are saying is you have a better chance to having a chance to be in a professional team if you come here and go pro. The turnover rate, that's what we're talking about. But now you got other teams. Oh, we got this player, and he's the best in the league, so we're DBU. Like, no, stop. Like, besides your three players, who else got a chance?
Right.
Stop it. Like, like we don't even want to talk about that, but you know.
What was your favorite thing about playing in the Swamp?
Favorite thing about playing in the Swamp, beating up on Miami one a couple times. Beat up on them. Beat up on. I think my most favorite game in there was senior night when Tebow's in 2009. Mm-hmm. That senior night, that was like the most fun we had in there. It was our last time spending together, man, and just. You know, we had on those cool uniforms, the white helmets. Remember that?
God, I love those too.
Yeah, so
I did.
I was fresh that game too. So. But you know, that was my all-time favorite game. But we had plenty, man. Playing Tennessee in there, man, and you know, let's see, I think the Miami game might be the loudest. The Miami game was the loudest. I remember looking over at Major, and we couldn't even hear each other, you know, just in the game.
Do you know what's crazy? You know how, like, memories, like, they just, like, you just go back to a specific place. I mean, you hear a song, and you can remember where you were at. You know what I mean? And, like, I hear, like, you just mention games, and I can remember where I was sitting in the Swamp, observing. Like, I mean, certain games, I'd be like, I was right there, like, right behind the field goal post, 20 rows up. Like, I mean, you know, it's just like, dude, I remember. It's crazy.
My biggest regret, though?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You guys are going to be pissed at me for this. I missed the 2006 South Carolina game. The block field goal.
Oh, what were you doing?
I was in Key West. I had to go down to Key West. My mom was from Key West, so I had to go there. We had to go down there for something, and like everybody was doing whatever they were doing, what we had to do. And I was at my aunt's house. I remember sitting in the living room by myself, literally by myself, watching this game. Like, it was crazy, bro. Like, that's the only game I missed all year at home.
I was in the Swamp, man.
I was too.
Oh man,
I was nervous. I was in the band.
I was up above the silly Gator sign, like that part of the stadium. I was really high up, and I must have, like, when that happened, I must have sprinted up and down those stairs, high-fiving everybody at least 20 times. I mean, that has got to be one of the loudest nights in the Swamp I have ever experienced.
It was loud.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Oh, was it loud? Oh God, it was great. Yeah,
chill bumps thinking about it. Like,
I don't
that's
know.
Awesome, bro.
I don't know if it was.
That kicker is still in the league. Ryan Suckup. He was Mr. Irrelevant of that draft, and he still is a professional kicker. I mean, he's good. You know, another time I wasn't in the Swamp. I wish I was, but I was actually in Tennessee when we had the play when Greer threw it to Callaway. Oh, God.
I was in Tennessee in the bar, and like. It was like 3 Florida
You're
fans.
like the only one.
Bro, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, should I get out of here? Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 people in there that were Gator fans, man. But, you know, That game right there, man. I think we own Tennessee, by the way. The last like 15 years or whatever the case may be.
Dude, it's funny. I can like just reflecting back to these times, that time of the year. You know, that's when I remember when I got my first iPhone. Okay, like hold on. Let me tell you the story real quick because it's actually related to like football and stuff. Shannon and I, we go to it's our anniversary, right? We go to Stonewood, which is now like BBQ-holic or something. You know, and that was like it was Stonewood. Like we're in there celebrating our anniversary, just on a date, and Urban and Shelly Meyer walk in. And they're having dinner like a few tables away from us. Right. I look at Shannon and I go, you know, this is one of those moments. This is one of the moments where people pull out their phones, they take a picture, and they tweet about it. Right. And I was like, and we did not have smartphones at the time. We literally left Stonewood. We go to Best Buy and buy 2 iPhones like right after that dinner. I was like, I will not let this happen to me ever again.
You haven't been off your phone since.
And I've never been off my phone ever since.
That's awesome.
And so like I was like, that's one of those moments. This is one of the moments where you talk about being in the same restaurant as Urban Meyer and you like tweet about it.
I had a kid yesterday say in 5th grade, we call her 6. I'm like, stop name calling. Like, stop. Like, whatever. Like, no, we call her 6 because she got an iPhone 6. And the girl goes, you shut up. You just saying that because you got an iPhone 10, but shut up. And I thought about it and I'm like, that's crazy. Because I remember everyone went crazy for the iPhone when it turned sideways and your screen flipped, the first one, on a commercial. I remember that. Dun, 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 dun. You remember that?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. That was like my freshman year here. So like, my freshman year here was the first iPhone. I remember I had a BlackBerry. Remember BlackBerry? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like when I tell kids that, they're like, what? You're old, Mr. Black. I'm like, not really, but like a little bit.
Happens fast.
Yeah, man.
Dude, this has been awesome. This has been so much fun. We got to wrap it up in a minute. You got any last minute questions?
I was just gonna ask one.
Yeah.
You were gone from Gainesville for a while.
Yeah.
And then you came back. What was the biggest change? Because I've been here for 15 years, and it still blows me away, especially looking where the dealership is, out towards the university, how things are just going
crazy. The whole Archer Road is like different. Like, all right, so it's a few differences. All right, on campus, it's different because what we just talked about. We have social media. So like, I remember walking through campus and like, hey, like, what's up, man? And it's like now everybody's like,
yeah. No, it's definitely true.
Got headphones in, got this. We didn't have music. We had iPods. Remember the iPod?
You're not saying go Gators to each other. You're texting it to one another.
no, it's like different now. So like you walk through campus and like no one talks to anyone. It's quiet, right? Because everyone has their own, you know, you have people talking in their own conversation and you have people, you know, doing this and that on their phones. In the city of Gainesville, Archer Road is like,
it's so different.
It's like the premier, like, it's like a real college town now. It's like getting real collegey a little bit.
What was your favorite restaurant? Bennigan's? That was mine. Remember Bennigan's? You almost just spit coffee on his computer.
You would say Bennigan's.
Benny, you remember Bennigan's?
I remember Bennigan's.
Nobody remembers Bennigan's.
I remember Bennigan's. My favorite has to be Yamato's.
Mine too. I love Yamato.
Like, if anybody say anything about Kobe's, I'll drop kick you. All right? It's Yamato's all the way, all right?
Has Yamato's been around since that time?
Yeah. Dude, I used to go there once a week for about 3 years, and I'm not even exaggerating. We went there all the time, and I finally went back just a couple weeks ago for the first time. I'd probably been there in 2 or 3 years. And I don't want to say that, but like the reputation's kind of gone down a little bit, but I still loved it. I still like, give me all the fried rice. It's like its own food.
Yeah.
I'm shoveling it.
All right.
Still making the volcano out of the onions.
Oh yeah, of course. If they change that, I'm not going. All right.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, cool. Well, hey man, thank you so much for coming. This
thanks for having me.
This was a lot of fun. Thanks for
me.
representing Gator Nation and all that you do. Thanks for being a substitute teacher and like investing into those kids.
Well, I appreciate it.
Man, it's cool. Thanks to your dad for his service, and I mean I'm a military brat too, so I know what that lifestyle is like.
Yeah.
So I can definitely.
I just wish he was traveling a little bit more by the time I was born. I got to move around a bit, but hey, I'm a Florida guy, so.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Well, and dude, I think you did a really good job being a co-host. I'm proud of you, man.
You quit making me nervous, so.
Yeah, if you stop asking him if he's nervous. Like
you literally come on and you just start having a conversation with somebody, and magic happens, man. And
that was good. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, it was fun. I knew like from if there's one person
here we go
who is like the Gator know-it-all, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like, he goes to like every Gator sport. I mean, it's not even Gator football. I mean, you like gymnastics, and that's golf, track, like what?
That's what separates. I think that's what separates our fan base. Is like we can literally talk about gymnastics.
Yeah.
And now here's the other team. Oh, we don't care about that. I wonder why. Maybe because you suck.
Yeah, we got national champions.
We should start talking about academics and then see how far we get. All right.
Yeah.
A lot of teams will shut up after that. All right.
So, well, I definitely it's cool to have been here for all this time. You know, I started in 2000 at the University of Florida. 4 years, and then I've been here ever since. And so you're talking 19 years in now, man. And you're right, like the way Gainesville's landscape changes, all the stuff that's happening, and I mean, it's cool. It's cool to be a part of. It's cool to play a role in it, and then it's cool just to network and have the opportunity to talk to individuals like yourselves and and reflecting on those days. Those are my days, you know.
Yeah, man.
I mean, those were the days. Like I mean, I was graduated. I was graduated in that time, but like you know, I was here. I was operating a young company in Gainesville, and like I remember like going to all those games, having company tailgates. Like we'd have company tailgates and go out there.
So that's what I have to come to get it. See what kind of scooter I want in there.
There you go.
I
still host a tailgate.
There's one great way to get a scooter around here. It's to lay cash on the table.
He's not wrong.
So everybody, thanks so much for listening. We appreciate it. This is the WHOA GNV Podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and individuals that make you go, whoa. Guys, come on. Whoa. We'll see you later.
Peace.
Bye.